Hey there, everybody. So, I am getting a message here that I'm seeing that I feel like whatever this reading is about, I feel like it is in regarding to your mindset, the way how you view things, your perspective, right? I'm getting that for some reason, I'm getting there was like some sort of shift in the dynamic of how you perceive things, how you view things, right? I feel like before like you might have had like a set vision of how things were, right? But I feel like that whatever this set vision was, it just was like there wasn't like a really good foundation, right? And like I don't know why, but I'm kind of getting the image of like the Pope or the priest, right? And like you know how there's like a hierarchy, right? And I'm getting that like in order for you to become the Pope, to become the priest, right? It's like you have to gain. They're usually the type of individuals that have more knowledge and they have more experience, henceforth why they are wise and good at their position or why they had their position in the first place, right? And I'm getting that like you're kind of like at the you are like at that bottom of that hierarchy, but it's like now you're starting to climb up, and it's because due to the experiences that you have, and henceforth why you are like becoming much more wise, if that makes any sense. For some reason I'm getting that recently you folks have been like in some sort of there was some sort of life lesson that's been brought up to you, and I feel like whatever this life lesson was, it was a way to like test your commitment and to test your beliefs. For example, some of you guys it might be in regarding to your work, but I'm also getting that it could be in regarding like I'm getting like it's mostly tied to your work, but it also was in a way to see like what your mindset was. If you were like if you had like a strong uh mindset, if that makes any sense, right? There was like a specific word I wanted to get out, but I don't know exactly what it was. Like strong mentality, like mindset, right? I feel like whatever it is, that's what it was. But I'm not getting necessarily to be that. It's like more as a way to like test also like your commitment. You know what I'm saying? So like for example, like let's just say that I know I like to use religion as like as a reference, right? But it's like the only thing I can really come up with. But I'm getting like so you know how like people that are like in certain religions there are some that are very like very strict or like by the book. Like you have like basically like how you have Catholics and how you have Christians, and even though they're technically not that much correlated to one another, they have similar beliefs, but they're still completely different. It's like Catholics are kind of like the Christians, but they're like much more stern and more precise in their beliefs, while Christians are a little bit. That's not to say that like Christians can't be more stern or like by the book, because like everybody is different in their belief systems, how they view the book, how they see religion, and things like that, or their view of like source or God, right? But it's like there's also like if you notice like in these specific communities, they have like usually strict morals or strict like regulations when it comes to being involved in their community, if that makes any sense, right? Like for example, like with Catholics, technically like usually divorce is not like an option, right? And usually they're like they go to church more often, they pray more often, they try to get more involved within their religion, right? um, Usually they're very strict on who they're also married with, and basically it's kind of like the whole American dream white picket fence kind of thing, if that makes any sense whenever it comes to Catholics. um and that's pretty much like kind of what I'm getting here, where it's like it's like it was like kind of by the book, right? And I'm getting it's like you're kind of like learning how to go through that, if that makes any sense. It's like it's when if you're a Catholic, like in a way, even though like I do not resonate with Catholics, right? uh, I still respect them because of their commitment to their religion. And yes, there are some that are like that not talking about Catholics, but people in general that are very toxic, and how they impose their beliefs. But I'm talking about the ones that are, where they keep it more to themselves, where it's like more of a personal thing for them, which I believe religion should be a personal thing for somebody, right? In my opinion. Um, and I respect them because of their commitment to their religion, because not everybody can handle that. Just like how if you ask an American to become a Muslim and not like eat pork, and to like if it's, especially if it's a woman, to wear a hijab and things like that is commitment, if that makes any sense, right? And not everybody is able to handle that, so the fact that they're able to do that, like, grants a lot of respect for those types of individuals, right? And I'm getting that that's pretty much what's happening. So it's like there, basically what I'm trying to get at here is that you had to go through some sort of major life lesson, and whatever this sort of thing, I feel like whatever this thing was, it was something that was very painful. Whatever this thing was, it's like whatever this thing was, it's kind of like a thing where you felt like it was punch in the gut, but it's also like that thing where it's like, whenever you smell like moldy cheese or things like that, and like it makes you feel really sick to the stomach. I feel like that's the type of experience on how it made you feel, if that makes any sense. For example, if somebody like did you dirty, like it was like really gut wrenching type of feeling. You know what I'm saying? Or like if things didn't go in your way because for some reason I was getting like justice, so like maybe people did you wrong or something happened where you didn't get your justice that you felt like you deserved. It's like it was like a bit gut wrenching, or it was like a punch in the gut, right? And I feel like that even though yes, this experience was terrible, it was in a way the way to test your commitment, to see how mentally prepared you are to reach that success, if that makes any sense. I'm gonna be really honest, I don't understand why our life is like that. Like, I believe that us individuals as souls, right, we are meant to come to this world to have experience, right? But it's like in a way it's kind of like I feel like it's kind of toxic in a way. Like, it was it like Stockholm syndrome, where it's like it's a very toxic dynamic in relationship in the way how our world is. It's like we can choose to come back to this world in this planet or whatnot, right? But yet, even though we've been through the most harshest experiences, it's like we still choose to come back, which I find is kind of, I don't know, like I still have a hard time like grasping that concept around, if that makes any sense. And I feel like that's what it is. This basically was to just to see your commitment, to see how far you was willing to go to achieve happiness. I feel like in a way, I feel like you kind of passed the test, because I feel like what you don't realize is the energy that you were at before. It was a very toxic environment. Some of you guys, it might have caused you to like divulge into substances, whatever this sort of toxic energy or environment was. Some of you guys, it could have been an establishment, 811 on the time stamp, some sort of establishment. Wherever it was that you guys were at, I feel like there was like some sort of company, organization, or establishment that you were at, right? But I feel like that whatever this sort of place was, it's like they had such strict rules, such strict boundaries, right? Where it's like it gave you no freedom for like imagination, creativity, self exploration, right? And because of that, it's like caused you to divulge into toxic behaviors and patterns. So let's just say, like, maybe before, like, you never really smoked, you never really drinks, you never really, let's just say, hang out with certain type of people, right? But it's like now after you getting into whatever this organization establishment was, it kind of really like effed with your mind mentally, if that makes any sense. 11:22 on the clock. It's like now you might be like overeating, under eating. You might be tempted with certain things, divulging in substances, right? And I feel like it's because of how very stern, how very by the book this organization was, right? And I feel like that it was meant to happen because it was trying to teach you to see how committed you fully were in order to be able to achieve your happiness. And it's really strange because I actually um I was getting like the American Horror Story, right? That I recently watched. Some of you guys probably know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you can probably check it out. It's really interesting. but I watched this one season of American Horror Story, and it was called I think it was called Duplicate, right? Duplicate? No, something like that. I already forgot. Delicate or duplicate. It started with a D. All right, I don't know what it was, but basically it was like about like the chemist that created those pills, and if these people were like highly creative, highly talented, right? They ended up becoming like successful people and things like that. 1033 on the timestamp, and people that were just regular, that didn't have any creativity or had no potential, they ended up becoming like vampires that feed off of other people. And I'm getting like, and there was this one part where this girl, I think, said she was like, it's like, I don't remember like the see like it's funny because I recently watched this, but like it's like still kind of foggy in my brain. It was like this one part where the woman was like, there was I think it was Ursula that said it, where she was like, there are some people that are like meant, that are like in this world to make a difference in this world, and then there are some people that are like not, like these people, like she's talked about how like it's unfortunate because it's like these people, they go throughout their life thinking that they have the potential when they just should just face it that they really don't, right? And like the girl, the daughter of this one family, right? She talked about how like she talked about how like sometimes like it's always those people that like really work hard for what they want, that they have to suffer in order to get what they really deserve. Like it's like basically like the people that that are not, if you basically, I don't feel like that what this, it was really interesting because like the whole season was like very contradictory, because in my opinion I feel like everybody is actually talented, 1212 on the timestamp, but I feel like it's not about the potential and the talent, it's all about, I feel like, the commitment. And I feel like that's exactly what this reading is trying to say. It was trying to see how fully committed you are to your talent, to your passion, to your pursuit, right? Because if you notice within all of these people, it's like there were many people that were talented. Like this guy, he was really passionate about singing, but why did he ended up becoming like a vampire, like the rest of the anomalies, right? And it's because like he didn't put too much, like he didn't put invest enough into it, and therefore he wasn't like already, because it basically, the pill only worked for people that were already good at what they were doing, and it just amplified it, if that makes any sense. And I feel like that's what it's trying to say here, is that like it was trying to test to see, because like the thing is like the universe basically knew what they knew that you was gonna be able to get through it, but it was just a test to see how far you were willing to push yourself to go and achieve it even more, if that makes any sense, to basically beat expectations. And I feel like in a way you actually beat the expectations. You ended up working really hard for what you wanted and things like that. It was very gloomy, it was very grimy, it was very unpleasant type of thing. And I'm getting that like in a way this situation that you were dealing with was very unfair, because we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. It's like you had to deal with like a lot of snobby and greedy people, or like whatever effort that you invested in, you never received it in return. It was just basically really unfair. So you basically have been like stabbed in the back. You've basically been dealt wrong with so many things in so many ways, right? Um, and it's funny because I actually got the Ten of Swords in reverse, and like when I pull it up, it came back up again as well too. So that is telling me that it's all about your mentality. Literally, Ten of Swords in reverse. I mean, like, you know, it's just confirmation. It's like Nine of Pentacles as well too. So it's like it basically was like a test of commitment. Essentially, what this all was. And it's really unfortunate because you kind of had to suffer through it, but like it was supposed to happen so that you can learn. In a way, it was also there to teach you to be financially independent, to be self-sufficient, and to go after your dreams and your goals, right? And I feel like what you don't realize is through the end of this tunnel, once you keep on staying committed to that belief, to that system, whatever it is, right? That it is, you're gonna achieve your happiness. You're gonna find that financial dependence, that stability, and you're gonna achieve your goals and your dreams. Some of you guys, what you don't realize as well too, I feel like there was another reason to it. Whatever this sort of system, establishment, or whatever it is that you were at, 1522 on the timestamp, it caused you a lot of depression. You were never happy at where you were at. You could have been surrounded by other people. People could have been offering you as much as they want. But it's like, even then, no matter how hard people try to make you happy, it's like you couldn't really become happy because you feel like that this is not what you were supposed to do. This is not something that you were meant to do, that you were actually meant for something much more. And you were right. I'm getting that you were actually meant for something much more. What this whole entire thing was trying to teach you to learn to take a step into your life and to assert boundaries. Go after whatever it is that your heart has been telling you. You know the fact that this is a whole repetitive cycle. 1606 on the timestamp. You know this entire thing was repetitive. You know how very toxic this whole establishment is. But it's like you're still choosing to divulge in it. But the thing is, what matters is that you need to learn to switch your mindset. Because if you can learn to switch that toxic mindset, you're able to achieve whatever it is that you want. It's all about how mentally tough and strong you are. A lot of you guys, the reason why you're not progressing in your life, especially if it's in regarding to your like finances in your career, is literally because of your mentality, your mindset. And I feel like you don't realize that, and that's what's like causing you a lot of like, I'm getting for some of you guys like anxiety and depression, and you feeling like no sense of self-worth. You guys are meant to be like working at an establishment or a job that doesn't that requires the least amount of effort. 11:30 on the clock and 11:33 as well. You guys are meant to be doing a job where there should be the least amount of effort, but I feel like instead you're at an establishment where it's like you are kind of like forcing yourself to do. And I feel like what you don't realize is that yes, having hard work is a good thing, but what you don't realize is that it's like investing your money into a terrible company. You know what I'm saying? If you know that the company is terrible, that you're not gonna get high value out of it, why are you investing yourself in a company that's already failing and it's not meeting your needs? If that makes any sense, right? When you can be utilizing your time and energy onto something that you know for a fact that there's going to be a guarantee you're going to get something in return, right? And I'm getting that is exactly what's happening. So for example, like some of you guys are investing your time and energy mostly getting regarding to work. Some of you guys are in a work where like you're consistently working. Like I see you guys being like hard workers, right? But the thing is like you're stuck in this old mentality, this old mindset. Whenever it comes to the hierophant, right? It talks about old establishments, old beliefs. Maybe like a few generations ago it would have resonated where if you worked hard you would be able to earn more money, gain more recognition and potential. But we're at this time right now where it's like, especially if you're working a 9 to 5 job, I don't know if some people may have realized this as well too, but it's like, especially if you're working at a 9 to 5 job, like if you're working at like a factory or whatnot, like people can easily replace you. Like they'll say like, "Oh, we have all these benefits and things like that," but that's like literally all cap. Like, I mean, yeah, you have benefits, but it's like that's just as a way, like on paper, to like look like a good company. When in reality, if you actually work for a company like that, especially a large company, they really do not give a crap about you, right? And some of you guys might know where I'm coming from. And because like if you end up having like a situation at home or you're having issues at family or if you have an emergency, right, like there will be cases where they just don't give a crap because in their mind you're able to be replaced. That's the thing. And I feel like what you really need to do, the whole message that I'm getting here, is that you need to shift your mindset from that old belief system where you have to work consistently in order to get that financial independence and stability that you need, into and invest your time and effort into more of a work establishment or an energy that you are going to be able to be guaranteed to get something out of it. And I'm getting it would be much more better if it was like a creative field. For example, like, and if it's not a creative field, it doesn't have to be, because I understand, like, especially with the economy now, like I know a lot of people that want to become photographers, I want to become painters, I want to be designers, right? But it's like because of the economy, it's like they're required to like kind of work at a stable job. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's totally acceptable. But I feel like it's also like do something or find something that you at least decently like, or something that's enjoyable at least at the moment, because even then it's a start for you to invest into something that you truly love and you're passionate about, and you'll be able to find fulfillment in. And that's pretty much what I'm getting here. So what I really am getting here is you needing to shift your mindset into you having to work hard mode into you needing to think smarter mode, right? You need to think of what are some ways that I can invest my time and energy and effort into something where there's going to be high value and high investment, right? Is pretty much what I'm getting here. Because right now you're stuck into this old cycle, and like I said, maybe generations ago it might have resonated, but we're at a time and place where it's like anybody can be basically like replaced. I mean, some of you guys have heard the news about how majority of the Amazon workers that worked at factories got laid off because robots ended up being replacing them. If you thought that was bad, that's just a start. So imagine how much worse it could potentially get afterwards because of that, right? So it's like you might as well just like, even though you're established in these old beliefs and patterns, you might as well just do so. That way, 2144 on a timestamp. That way, you're prepared for it, and then you're able to find some sort of stability within your life, which I do see you guys being able to do. But I feel like that this message in general is just like a confirmation for you. And what you don't realize is you literally have so much happiness coming in for you. Like I see you go like going out, like dressing nice, like going to parties, hanging out with friends, having the time of your life, literally, by doing the things that you enjoy and like going after what like resonates to you, what your heart resonates, right? And like I said, you go 22 on the timestamp. You guys are stuck in this mode. Some of you guys, like, how else you will know is because you guys are doing substances, right? And you're stuck in this like low mentality type of mode. That's because you know deep down within your soul that this is not something that's meant for you. Because in general, in reality, you're not. You're meant for something much more than that. But it's like you just need to like shift your perspective, shift your mindset, and start investing your time and effort into something where you're gonna actually get something in return, where you can at least get some guarantee that things are gonna come in. Because right now you're putting your effort and investment, and yeah, it's gonna work well, but when if it's for the right company or for the right work or for the right people. And right now you're investing your time and energy onto something that where there's no good high investment. So right now, like I like think about what is something that you truly enjoy. Think about something where you know you're gonna get be guaranteed some sort of happiness. Something that's gonna, like I said, it doesn't have to be something you're passionate about. It could be something you could just start off with, but that could lead to something that's more passionate. You could like work like a regular, like let's just say you work in tech, but then you invest that money into like your passion project, your business, and then it ends up to like more business and then into investments. You know what I'm saying? It's like that chain of events. And that's pretty much what I'm getting here. So like find that thing that's gonna stick and that's going to get you out of that situation. That way you can find that stability and the success, your own success story. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm getting at. I know I was kind of like a little bit in like Wonderland in my head, but I was actually pretty tired. So just, work with me. But hopefully this message helped and you got something out of it and it resonated for you. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you folks on the next video. All right, take care.